Hello, heroes. This week on the Nexus podcast, we finally know who will be in the Blizzcon Brawl. We know who evil geniuses will be playing in the exhibition matches. We have our Blizzcon predictions, and Anub'arak is our hero spotlight of the week, all on episode number 49. I am your host, Adam Eastwood, and with me we have our Blizzard and esports enthusiast, Ben Blazik.
Good evening, everybody. It's awesome show tonight. We are missing David, unfortunately, but man, BlizzCon next week. Awesome Evil Geniuses news. It's going to be a good time.
Mm-hmm. We have the amazing Joshua Williams.
Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's been having a great Friday so far. I'm looking forward to chatting with you fellas tonight.
And a great friend of the show from Hotscast as well as the Twisted Nether blogcast, Fimless.
Hello. Hope everybody had a good Halloween.
Yes, we did. I walked around a lot.
I walked around too much.
I had to carry a 18-month-old around to a lot of houses, and everyone made a big deal about her. She was kind of a big deal around here.
Can I interject here? Isn't that a little young to be taking your kid around?
It's not for her.
No, it's candy. So he can get candy. And he can go, look at her. Oh, here, hold her while I eat candy. Okay, thanks. Bye. Next
You're
house.
ruining. You're breaking the first rule of Halloweening. You don't talk about bringing kids around to get candy.
Okay, well that's fine. I'm okay with breaking the rule, but my ex-wife did that, man. When the kid was 1 year old, it was Halloween, and she did that and took the kid around. And it was so cold for the kid. I'm just like, this is a waste of time.
Well, to be fair. I do go with my sister who has 4 kids, my brother who now has 1 kid who's 8 years old that we just found out, and so it was like a family thing. So we went last year as well, but it's more like we go with family, and it's kind of like we do it every year. So I finally get to bring my kid with me.
All right. Well, congrats. You enjoy being a parent. I'm just going to sit here drinking.
I can be a parent and sit here drinking at the same time. That's the best part about it.
I'm okay with not being the first thing, so.
You're a multitasker.
Amen.
That's what it is.
I don't know if I'd say that, but.
Okay.
He's bent. That's what he is.
So let's go ahead and we're going to talk a little bit about our week in gaming. Ben, why don't we go ahead and start off with you?
Well, I had to go on a work trip at the beginning of the week, so that was pretty light. I didn't really actually start playing any games until yesterday. Play a little bit of Heroes, and then I've been playing Farming Simulator since it came out yesterday. Probably already put in 18, 19 hours already. So that's been my week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is kind of sad. Farming Simulator.
Considering you were also contemplating buying it last night.
Shh. I'm really going to keep that in the down, though, that I was watching a stream of somebody pretending to farm.
Just come out to where I'm from. You don't have to pretend to farm.
Right, you can just go get a job and make real money.
Yeah, but see, the beauty of it is that I can just sit at my computer while drinking and do it, and then...
Well, the farmers by me, I'm sure they drink while they do it.
Probably.
Josh, what have you been up to?
I got the Sunset Overdrive, so I've been playing that and Destiny this week. That's and a little bit of mix of the Borderlands pre-sequel. So that's stuff, basically. Trying to take a break from PC gaming right now, waiting for Warlords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I know once Warlords hits, I'm going to be glued right here for days and days.
Fim, what gaming have you been up to?
Well, I played a bunch of Civilization Beyond Earth as that came out. Many hours. I've gotten through one full game in about 2/3 of one, I think, at this point, and I'm enjoying that. And I played a lot of Heroes. Quite a bit with you, actually, and depending. So I've been enjoying stuff. I have pre-sequel, and I actually played that prior to this week, prior to Civ coming out quite a bit. I need to get back in.
It's fun.
But that's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. I didn't expect it be good because it's not the same
I think it's
developers.
Better.
But
yeah, I think they did a better job because stuff doesn't respawn as quick, and just, I don't know. That was my problem with the older ones. Is everything would respawn on you constantly, and it was so annoying. So it seemed much better.
That's a lot of fun.
No, I've been kind of Playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm. That's been really my primary game, which is a good thing because I can talk about it. Team practice was a little light this week just because we were on Hotscast on Wednesday, and then last night I think we were just running a little late. We got some 3-person games in, which I think we did pretty well in. It's funny, we didn't talk about it last week, but I'm actually going to put the video up on our YouTube. Is me and Ben were playing a game, and we had a team really push all 5 bottom on, I think it was Blackheart Bay. Remember that? And so we were. It's actually like a perfect video to show of why you don't want to push 5 people in one lane, because we were able to get such a level advantage because we just played it safe in the bottom lane and like just held them off, that we were able to really just walk through the end of the game. I felt like we didn't really run into any problems.
Wasn't I in that game with you guys?
You might have been in
I was
there.
in that game.
Yeah,
I think I was.
Yeah.
I remember that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I definitely want to. I'm trying to think of how I want to put it up there. You know, do I want to like grab one of you guys and do like a little commentary track over it, or do I just want to put the game up there for fun?
I would say put the game on there for fun because like casting over something that you yourself already played is always a lot different than watching it for the first time. I've tried it before when I was trying to cast StarCraft 2. It's really different. And that is the perfect video to combat the arguments of people being like, oh, well, Heroes is dumb because all you have to do is 5 push 1 lane. No, sorry, that doesn't work at the higher levels.
Yeah, no, it didn't. And it didn't work at our level either. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But it was. I meant more like when we kind of talk about like why what we did, you know, type of a thing. So people can almost combat it in their own way. But yeah, it's funny that we didn't talk about that last week because it happened last Thursday, and I just didn't bring it up. So I figured I'd make sure to bring it up this week. Other than that,
It shows what Blizzard was actually saying, which is that, you know, be like, well, everybody can just push, and it's like that. But if the other team stays in their lanes, they're going to get a level advantage over you. As long as you don't die, you can get that level advantage by staying in your lane, and they're just sitting there running around like crazy, and you're getting the level advantage. And once you get it, if they don't kill you, they can't get it back. So
right, and then it's harder. Like we got to the point where we were 3-on-5 in the bottom, and we had like the 2 level advantage, so we were able to actually give them a little bit of a push back because we had. I know I was down on the bottom, but I forget who else was down there. So I was a Anub'arak in the bottom.
I was on top.
And so I was able to zoom in, stun them, run away. Zoom in, stun, and just kind of keep them from being able to get to us. So it was a lot of fun.
I was in the mid as Asmodan. It's like something didn't click in their heads. Like, oh, Asmodan's alone in the middle. We should probably do something about that.
Yeah, because you were Tassadar as well, right, Famous?
Yeah, I was Tassadar on top.
You were Tassadar top, and so you were able to push the top pretty well, because you have crazy clear. Yeah, you have crazy clear as Tassadar, and you know Asmodan by himself. Like that's the last thing I would do in a game right now is leave Asmodan by himself. So
For sure.
You got to push him back.
So yeah, so that was a great game. So I was very happy with that. Other than that, I've actually been playing some more Diablo today because it is 100% XP and gold right now. I played for maybe a half an hour, 40 minutes at most, and I got 4 or 5 Paragon levels, and I'm in like the 150 Paragon range, so it takes a lot of XP, and it was just like flying by. So much fun, all that XP. So
yeah, that's on PC and consoles as well.
Oh, is the bonus there too?
Yep.
I should probably go in and play on my PS4 to get some levels. I haven't played much on the PS4.
So that's always fun. It's funny. I always mess up going between Heroes of Storm and Diablo. I just need to set the custom buttons because I'm like hitting Q and my ability's not going off, and I'm actually using up mana pots, which is not a good thing.
Yeah, I switched mine to use those letters Q, W, E, R now, just because I'm so used to them.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? I was just thinking, I'm like, if I change it, then I would go to 1 automatically. For some reason, then I would do it right. So, what you gonna do?
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
Just adapt.
Yeah, and you know what's also really cool over the past week is a ton of invites have gone out for Heroes of the Storm. Have you guys noticed this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got my second account in on Thursday.
Your second account got in?
Really?
So there's all these people who don't even have 1 account in, and you have 2 accounts. You actually have a Smurf account now. You can play with us when you're not playing with the team because you can just play on your Smurf now.
Yeah, but the problem with my Smurf is that I don't want to attach a credit card to it and spend the amount that I spent again.
But why? But why
So-
would you? Like, it's just so the way if you die, it doesn't count against your MMR. That's why. That's what I would do with a Smurf. You know, use gold to get just the heroes you need, and
We'll see what I do with it. I
Yeah.
don't know yet.
Sell it for $500.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
I know.
it kind of made me think that they already started giving away, the all your friends get in thing. That they were talking about, where if you hit level 20, so many people will get all their friends into the beta. Because literally, everybody on my friends list is in the beta now, or a technical alpha. Like, people were like sending me messages like, I'm in, and I couldn't get over. Like, I have yet to find someone in my friends list that isn't playing Heroes of Storm. So
Nice.
it kind of made it,
Most of my list was in beforehand, just because a lot of them are bloggers, and they seem to have picked a lot of those people to be in the alpha. So
yeah. It just seemed coincidental that like all these people that I know, and some of them that have no interest in Heroes of the Storm whatsoever, got into it. Like, so I think maybe they started giving some of those away. I maybe I'm wrong, but I did notice that.
My one friend who that's like he just wants in this game so bad, and he's still not in.
Yeah, because it was Tarkonis from CGM, Pagan Geek, just all these people that been, they send me a message. When I first started like working with D20 Crit, which is where they do some of their stuff as well. They were like, "Hey, do you have any way of getting somebody into the Tech Alpha?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I wish I had that power." And so they asked me. They asked me when I kind of first started, and I'm like, and then they got in. They're like, "Did you somehow do this?" I'm like, "I wish I could take credit for that. I wish I had that kind of power."
Yes, I did.
Be like,
You're in.
Be like, send me the $20 you
welcome.
promised me.
yeah, me the goods.
So that was pretty cool to see more people in there. But we've also I think we were saying, I forget who I was playing with. It might have been Ben or someone. We were saying that it really feels like you're hitting these like groups of people that haven't played. So it's like trying to tell people to be like, go and try some stuff out in cooperation mode, and before you go into versus, because the level of people you're hitting right now are still the new players, which isn't a bad thing. But it's kind of a false sense of how good you are right now, I feel like sometimes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would say this to new players: if you're coming from another MOBA, don't really treat it like those other MOBAs. Don't really play it like those other MOBAs, because if so, you're just going to stay in a lane and try to push a single lane by yourself and not go in team fights. You know what I mean? Not go all over the map like you're supposed to. They're just going to keep staying in their lane and try to push it.
You also have to be real careful if you're a new person playing an assassin, because I think a lot of people think the assassin should be able to like take anybody out one-on-one, and that's not the case. Like I've had a lot of, like, I was playing Chen a bunch, and I just had a lot of assassins like come at me and try to like wipe me out, and I'm like, well, Chen's kind of like an assassin killer, with his shield. So
Why should every assassin be able to take you out one-on-one?
Well, no, I think that's the mindset that a lot of people coming from other games.
Oh, I thought that's my bad.
No,
I thought
I'm
you
saying
said
that people have that mindset that the assassins are, kind of like an AD carry. If I'm an AD carry, I feel in League of Legends, if I go up and try to kill somebody, I'm gonna kill them, And but the warriors, I think, are super strong, and they're doing decent amount of damage still with like Chen and Anub'arak with all the stuns. So I think people just it's like something just to point out. Oh,
I feel you, man.
I thought Fimless was going to say something. I stopped.
No, sorry.
But yeah, so let's go ahead. We're going to...
Chen is unkillable, so he doesn't really count.
It's true.
No, we
remember
killed a lot
only-
of Chen.
I heard
Who
rumor
you
that noobs
can't
like to play
escape
him.
from is Asmodean.
Yeah, Asmodean does pretty well against Chen,
Asmodean.
for sure. So let's go ahead and get into the news. The BlizzCon Brawl, which isn't the expedition matches, but a separate like one or best of 3 match that will be taking place before the exhibition. They finally kind of announced everybody that was going to be in it. A couple of the names I recognized. A couple of people I feel like I probably should recognize just because, like, was it Team Rocket Jump?
Yeah, those are the guys that make Video Game High School. They do a Face Rocker podcast. They make Video Game High School. Freddie Wong was part of Node for a while when they were doing the LAN Party series on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I was gonna say the name sounded familiar, but couldn't like put my my finger on it.
And I'm gonna make this an shot call by myself. If you haven't seen Video Game High School, they've done season 3 now. You need to go watch all 3 seasons because that is an amazing show that had such a low budget with amazing effects. So I'm endorsing that for the show.
Is that Freddie Wong is that really good special effects guy, isn't it? For like an independent guy, right? Is that right guy?
I guess you could consider them independent, maybe. I don't know if you could really consider them independent now, but
same person I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm. Well, so it's the best of 3. And they're gonna play all 3 matches no matter what. So it's just like a three match. It's not. It's like if one team wins 2, they're still gonna play the 3rd match, which is interesting. It just shows for just there for fun. The people that I know of are obviously Husky. I think anyone who's into StarCraft at all has seen Husky or seen some stuff that he's done. Jesse Cox out of Geek and Sundry, and Nerdist Malik Forte. So those are like the people that I really know from. Just it seems like a lot of YouTube personalities on here.
You don't know Krendor?
Krendor, I know the name.
They said it's streamers. That was the big thing they were talking about, was that it was basically going to be streamers.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the idea, is people would stream or have a show of some sort that play.
Mm-hmm. So, but it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see, like they're not like the professional teams, so obviously they're just kind of practicing together, and it's like more for like a fun thing, which is pretty cool. What are you guys' thoughts on it?
I mean, I think it's overall going to be interesting. Sorry, I can't talk. I was really, I guess, surprised by the rocket jump picks. I did not see that coming at all. I kind of anticipated like Husky would be part of it in some way or fashion, but that's not a bad thing. I like Husky. I'm definitely a Husky StarCraft fan. It looks like it's going to be an entertaining match because a lot of these guys have a lot of personality. So I'm assuming afterwards and before they're going to interview them in some type of way at BlizzCon on the mic. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot of personality with these guys, it's just great overall for a show match like this. I mean, but still very surprised by the rocket jump picks, but very glad because those are some good guys. So,
and I'm a noob to that list. I did look up Freddie Wong, so I know who that is because that is who I was thinking, and I know Husky. That's all.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was I think it's gonna be cool. Like you said, Ben, it's a lot of personalities and a lot of people who have a lot of either they have good comedic timing or they just talk well or whatever. And I think it's going to be funny and it's going to be interesting. And I think that's really what they're going for more than anything, is kind of have that feeling of it just being a fun match and having a good time. Especially that's why they're doing the 3 of them no matter what. And I think it's going to be great. And that's the one that's going to happen prior to the semifinals, I think. Was that when they're doing them? I think in the schedule. I think it's before the semifinals of the tournament. So I think that's
the
schedule. On Friday night.
It's before all the tournament because semifinals is the start
semifinals
of it.
Are the first round.
Yeah. I'm like thinking about it. I'm thinking it's before the first round. I'm like, oh yeah, semifinals is the first round.
I think it's just semifinals, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's before that. I'll be still probably at the convention center, so I'll be able to watch that because we have something to set up Friday night. So I don't know that it'll be there for the semifinals, but I'm looking forward to these. I think it's gonna be really funny.
Yeah, and the cool thing is is the timing. Well, I guess it's not really cool if you like StarCraft, because the StarCraft What's Next is about the same time, so I think that'll be a little difficult for some people.
The thing is, I mean, and I've talked about this before on Twisted Nether, is that if you're going to to BlizzCon, if you're going to the convention or you're getting the virtual ticket, no matter what, you can watch any of this stuff later.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 weeks after the convention to watch anything. To me, this is something to watch there. The panel can be watched at home because you're not going to interact with it necessarily. It's not going to, you'll know who wins after it's kind of like a spoiler thing. It's better to see the sporting event at the time it happens as opposed to later. Well, the panel, you can watch that whenever.
Yeah.
That's what I did last year. During most of the panels, I was up walking around, watching StarCraft, watching Hearthstone, playing Heroes of the Storm, and just playing all the games after the opening ceremony. After the open ceremony and they talked about Heroes for a little bit, I left that room and walked around and just got to experience all this stuff. And because like you said, you can see all the panels online. You can even just ask your friend, hey, what did they say they're adding? All this, and you can look it up online like later that day. So I recommend that too.
Really? See, it's for me, I don't know. Like, I have this thing where I'm like, I really want to go to the panels, like, because I've never been to a BlizzCon, so I guess I don't know what to expect. So the panels are gonna be interested in, especially the Heroes of Storm ones. Like, I'm gonna find a way to sneak into the front of those panels.
I was at the Heroes of Storm panel. I for sure was at that. Some of the panels I was at, but I skipped most of the panels.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you guys all go to like the opening ceremonies, or like what do you guys do with that?
That's fun to try to get up close.
Yeah,
it's last year. I was probably like 20 feet away from the front doors, and the line by the time they open the doors stretched all the way past the Hilton, which if you've never been there, that's a long ways. You know about that, right, Fim? You know how long that is.
Yeah, the first year I was there, I was in line. I got there late, and I got in line. I was in the parking lot behind the whole convention center. You go all the way around the convention center, around the arena, and there's a parking lot behind it for the maintenance guys, and they had lines set up like Disney, like, and I was sitting out there, like no hat, anything, burning my head off, and it took forever to get us. And we almost missed the opening ceremonies. I had to watch the opening ceremonies from a panel room on a screen for the first time I was at BlizzCon. So you want to get up early and get out there into the line. We're usually pretty close now, but it's crazy.
So how early?
I think I was there.
I don't know.
At probably like, I think I got there probably like at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 7 is a lot
still
of people
good handful of people out there.
Very close to the front.
Oh, that's not too bad, especially if you're staying like where I'm staying at the Marriott. So
in the same.
Getting there that early won't be too bad.
Yeah.
So, well, then
that's where I was last year too, so that made it easier because I didn't have to worry about travel because it's like a 5-minute walk from my hotel room to the front door of the convention center.
That's awesome.
Yep. And there's no traffic or anything. You don't have to worry about that because it's all closed off.
Got it. And kind of speaking about Heroes of Storm esports action, we finally got the 4th team announced, and Evil Geniuses. So it's Ben's favorite team. Ben, what are your thoughts? I'll give you first dibs at this.
First, what I'm saying, got to raise my colors and all. Rep that a little bit.
For those of you on the audio portion, he held up a Cloud9 T-shirt.
No, absolutely not. I'd be burning that. It's an Evil Geniuses hoodie. Represent, all right? So, anybody who follows Evil Geniuses might have suspected this because whenever Evil Geniuses does something, they like to put up stuff on the website or they like to launch a piece of their website under an entirely new domain. So, they had something up for a little while, which was just a small animation on the page, and it said The Return. And it just had a bunch of distortion going on in the background. And that's all it did. It stayed like that the whole time. It didn't do anything else. So people were kind of like spinning theories. And I had a feeling it had something to do with this, but I wasn't for sure. And it's regarding the master, Idra, returning to Evil Geniuses, which is amazing because I love EG and I always loved Idra. And I always followed his career in Korea. And so I think it's amazing that he's back where he rightfully belongs and he's going to be playing Heroes, and that is incredibly entertaining to me at least. The lineup itself is definitely got some good people, and also people will definitely immediately recognize LZ Gamer, or at least I hope they would, who's also joining him on EG. And overall, I'm really excited about it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, really, it's Team Snowflake with Chilitech. That's the only difference at this point is you have you got LZ Gamer, like you said, you have Faye and Keelax, which so basically they were playing with Liquid Seth, and now they replaced him with Chilitech, and now they have a really good team, right now.
All I'm gonna say is now I mean Snowflake always took it seriously. Like, you could tell that they took it seriously, but I don't think. I'm trying to think of a better way to explain this, but I think now that like they're with an official pro team that has their back and like a name that's already standing, I think you're going to see even better play out of them, and I definitely think Symbiote should watch out.
Yes. I still wish, and I think we talked about this once, maybe twice at least.
Probably.
Is that I wish Symbiote was part of this. Like I don't see how they get passed up for this exhibition.
I agree. They absolutely should be here for this.
I think, and I think Josh is going to disagree with me, maybe, or maybe it was Brandon that would disagree with me. Is I feel like Cloud9 shouldn't be there.
That'd be Brandon.
Symbiote should be there. Yeah, I was trying to remember who, but Cloud9, like, great team. They have, and other esports and stuff. But I feel as though Symbiote would have been a better choice over Cloud9.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know why they did it, but you should have brought in the top names from the leagues that were actually getting that experience, and I think it would have made for a more exciting adventure, I guess is how I'm going to word that. Especially with now, the reason before we were talking about, they were like, oh, well, they just want to get big name teams out there to expose the sport. Well, now that Snowflake is EG, I feel like it's more accepting to bring in a team like Symbiote now.
Mm-hmm. No, I for sure, but it's like maybe they were expecting maybe Symbiote was going to get picked up by one of these big teams or something, and they were like, oh, maybe they'll just pick him up. But I'm disappointed, honestly. But I know Symbiote's going to be there at BlizzCon because I had actually talked to them. Because originally with World of Podcast, they thought we were going to do a live Heroes of the Storm match, and they were like, hey, we might be interested. I'm like, oh, I wish we were doing a live match. If we had the Wi-Fi capability to do it, we would have. So, any other thoughts on Evil Genius's lineup?
All I'm going to say is it's going to tear it up, man.
Oh, yeah? You think they're going to win?
Okay, so they were pretty close to being, I mean, they had their bumps, but they were like the closest to being even with Symbiote throughout the whole ECS. Mm-hmm. And now that EG is basically Snowflake, and the other teams are not experienced like that, I feel like they're going to have kind of their way with people. But it should still be good matches nonetheless. I'm not saying it's going to be boring, but I definitely think that they're probably going to come out on top.
Mm-hmm. I agree. 100%.
Should be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to get into our BlizzCon predictions. Now, we had our test run of this on Wednesday where we went over it. We were on Hotscast kind of talking about it. But, I definitely want to have it and put it out there for people who maybe just don't download our show as well. So what we're going to do is, other than heroes, because the heroes themselves, what are our predictions for what we're going to see in the game? Ben, I'll go ahead and start with you because I know what you're going to say. 100%.
Why are you going to start with me, man? We already talked about this on Hotscast.
It's going to do something different.
I know.
Am I allowed to talk about the same thing that we talked about on Hotscast? Or
oh, yeah, for sure.
Different?
Well, for sure, because people might not watch Hotscast.
I thought that was the point. We were supposed to cross-mingle here, but anyways.
Yeah, right. We kind of laid it all on the line on Hotscast, so we have to kind of do a recap again.
All right, so to repeat, I guess, what I said on Wednesday, I think we're going to get specific information regarding the draft mode, and I feel very strongly that it needs to be structured a certain way. Draft mode needs to absolutely 100% include ranked mode, and if it doesn't, then they're not doing justice to the game. And my personal opinion is I think that draft mode should specifically be ranked instead of unranked, because I feel like it should separate the casuals from the hardcore. And yeah, we had a whole debate about like definitions of casual players versus like competitive gamers and what to actually call them. But I definitely think, yeah, we're trying to put this game in here to bring our friends together and have fun. And I have fun with my friends, but I want to compete. And there needs to be a competition barrier to separate these two crowds. Even though we're going to be together under one game, and that's great, and we can all be happy about it, there still has to be a barrier somewhere. And that needs to be it.
Mm-hmm. No, I was saying. I think I said I agreed with you 100% that that's their ranked mode is the draft mode, and we're the difference between casual and hardcore. That's always fun to talk about.
Yeah, it was an interesting conversation, I'll say. Everybody's got kind of their own opinions on what like casual or non-competitive gamers want to be called and stuff like that. So it was definitely a good time. And so I guess we'll see what everybody else has to think about that.
Mm-hmm. And Finless, what are you expecting? Kind of the same thing out of a draft mode?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I would for the draft mode itself. I think that really, I don't know. I don't see any reason for it to necessarily be in a non-ranked play, other than maybe practice. Obviously, it's going to be though in the custom mode too. I would hope, because that's something we need for the tournaments. Because as you're not going to go into the ranked play to play tournaments, you're going to custom.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be there if you want to play with it to learn how to do drafts, or just maybe just do a draft and then say, oh, forget it, we're not going to actually play. But I think that I don't know. To me, the regular play should just be the standard play, and I don't know that we necessarily need something like draft mode in the non ranked play. Just to me, it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, versus just there for you to go in, play whatever hero you want, as long as you don't double up on your team and have fun.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to have some special ones, like I think Strife has, or Smite. Someone has Smite, maybe. I don't remember. Oh, maybe it's Smite. That where you get like special modes sometimes, like for a week, it's like all Zeus. Or remember we had which one? I confuse the S named MOBAs all the time.
Actually,
but
League of Legends had that. It was an
Smite,
all for one
right? They
mode.
had it too.
And
Yeah.
you would
It's Smite,
vote
sorry.
on who everybody would pick,
Yeah.
and the most votes would win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like everybody on the team, on both teams, would be like the exact same hero. I think that'd be funny. Like, oh, everybody's Asmodan. Like,
Oh,
5v5
man.
Asmodan. Like, oh yeah. Like see balls flying all over fire, like crazy. Oh,
Show
my
title
gosh.
right there.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Balls
Flying all over. But that would be pretty nuts. You could just everybody stand at the gates and just keep lobbing stuff back and forth.
Oh man, that would be fun.
That'd be funny. We need that mode. Blizzard, listen. We need that mode right now. All Asmodan, all the time.
You know, the funny thing
mode
is,
is balls everywhere.
Balls everywhere. That's the name.
the funny thing about it is you know, Finless is serious because for those of you listening to the audio, is he looks at the camera and like gets that serious looking point. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
Blizzard, pay attention.
You
to
gotta
me.
listen. Yes.
Josh.
We know people.
Josh, what are your predictions? What's your like main thing that you want to see come out of Heroes of the Storm with the panels at BlizzCon?
Well, on the last one, the first thing I said was heroes. So I'll go with maps. I want to see new maps, one or two. It doesn't have to be many. I just want to, get fresh maps more frequent. But then again, that goes with, is there too many maps, map rotation stuff, you know what I mean? But I kind of hope they announce a new map or two. Mm-hmm. That'd be pretty fun.
See, I feel like there won't be too many maps or there won't be enough maps until I don't get 4 or 5 Blackheart Bays in a row.
Or Dragonshires. What do we get? 4 or 5 Dragonshires in a row
one night
for a while there.
Yep, and then Blackheart Bay the night
All
after.
Dragonshire.
Dude, I haven't
Dragonshire is the
played
longest map forever. It's like crazy long.
in over a week of us practicing. I don't think we played Haunted Mines one time.
Yeah, that's the one I get the least as well. I don't.
Garden of
I don't
Terror,
understand
I've gotten the
their.
least.
I get that one more than mines. I don't understand how their map picking works.
Mm-hmm.
I just think maybe it's
It's
just a random
rotation
number, and since it's
as
4.
as you go in, it's just the next one. They just have a list and it just pops down and you go in, it's the next open one just rotates through. It probably isn't even random.
I wouldn't doubt it,
don't-
honestly.
Just joking.
I wouldn't doubt that. The way it feels, it's just like it doesn't feel like random. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely
no.
not.
The likelihood is you would get something different sooner or later.
We
I don't
usually
think
need
that, I don't
7.
know. I don't know, but I don't think they specifically make a decision based on who is in there and what you've played recently at all. which would be nice, but
Right.
they don't.
I think it would be nice because I'm just so tired of playing like one night just all the same maps. Like that's what I like about Heroes is the different maps. So when I get the same map over and over again in one night, it's like, oh, I could be playing League of Legends and getting the same map all day.
Quit your crying.
No.
You're practicing. Quit.
Well, yeah, exactly. One of the things we had brought up kind of as an adjunct to that, since I'm sure none of the rest of us are going to say maps because he just said maps, was some ideas for some of the maps where, we wanted to talk about having like, science fiction maps, like StarCraft type universe maps. And then we brought up the idea of having like one side being different, like completely different look, like different faction, more sort of red and blue, but have like Zerg or Terran and stuff like that, and make all the minions be different and all of the buildings be different. And I thought that was a very cool idea. And that would, it doesn't have to necessarily work differently. Like, the actual mechanics can all be the same. It's just skins. But I think that would be awesome. I think that would look great.
Mm-hmm. I still want a 10
and different mercenaries.
I mean, you could easily, that's a great point. He just said mercenaries. I was thinking about this Wednesday when we were talking about it. So does anybody remember from the StarCraft Wings of Liberty campaign? I don't know if anybody played it.
I did.
The map, I forget what the name of the mission is, but you're working for Tosh, and you are on the surface of that lava planet, and the lava raises, and you have to collect the minerals. Yeah. Something like awesome. That. You could be Protoss versus Zerg sided, like Josh was saying. He said Zerg versus Terran. I think Protoss versus Zerg would make a little bit more sense. Yep. And your mercs could be like fire bats with medics supporting them.
Yep, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could do that with the StarCraft universe. I mean, they do have all those mercs you can buy. So you could actually use those different mercs as the mercs in the game. And I think that would be awesome to tie in and use those mercs and maybe give them some different skills. And I think that was one of the things I had said Wednesday was I want some different mercs. Like something, just change them up. It's not always the same mercs all the time.
Mm. And the obvious one is instead of siege giants, you have siege tanks.
Tanks, of course.
Yeah, buddy.
But no, I'd love it. Like I was saying, I'd love like a more player map just for fun, like a fun 10v10 map or something like that. I don't know why I think more players make it more fun. I'm sure it probably doesn't, but
40 versus 40. 40 versus 40.
They should
Wrathy Basin, right?
Old school raid.
Oh my God. Erethy Basin is so sick.
Make that.
Oh man, no, but yeah, definitely more stuff with that. What do you think, Famous? I know you had a pretty good idea.
I think we need more mounts. As one of the and I think what I think they'll actually going to announce almost positively is there will be one of either a new mount or skins, and I'm pretty positive there'll be skins, that there will announce skins no matter what. I don't think that there's any question that skins will be announced because that's the easiest thing for them to do and they announce them all the time. So there will be skins announced, especially if they have new heroes because there'll be skins for the new heroes. But I would love to see a few more mounts. One of the ones I had suggested was Spider Mount, which I think would be kind of cool. Kind of like Asmodan's walk. I like that walk, and I think it would be cool to have that as a mount in some respect. So they could like have Asmodan's...
You can have as mount. He plays Asmodan.
Exactly, and I do. I can't do that when Ben's playing, though, because he wants to play Asmodan. So I have to play something else. I don't blame him. Unless we have all Asmodan, all Asmodan. One lane, all Asmodan. We need to have that.
All Asmodan.
AAAM. All Asmodan, all middle.
Oh, yeah, because it's not random, I guess.
No random.
So, I agreed 100%. New mounts will be great. Spider mount.
Not that I'd buy them, but I'd like to see them.
Make them purchasable by gold because mounts are ridiculously pricey.
Right. I was saying
it's not a bad thing.
That I want them to make a change.
Yeah, that's the point of them making some money. That's the way they make money. So
I know. Well, I mean, they can
game to keep going.
They don't have to charge $20.
Well, they have the pig one. The pig one is for gold. You get the pig.
You can get the pig one. Don't you want the pig?
The pig is popular.
No,
gold.
I do not want the pig.
Oink oink.
You can get the Nexus charger for BlizzCon and the virtual ticket.
Yeah.
Kind of free-ish.
I also got the
gold.
Billy Goat, but
There you go.
my point is, I don't feel like they need to be $20.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Well, you play the hero more than you use the mount, and the heroes are cheaper, and you don't use the mount as much as you do a hero. You know what I mean? Because your heroes are constantly out.
But I think I would rather have things that are more cosmetic be more expensive, because then people who don't want to do it don't have to. Because really, you don't need to have a skin, you don't need to have a mount. You get the default mount. So I think that the heroes are the important thing, and that's the thing you have to. I need this kind of hero, I need this kind of hero, and whatever. And I like this hero, but the mount is just kind of. I mean, I like them. I think they're cool. But it's one of those. It's a cosmetic thing, and that I like that they're doing that as the money thing more than okay, you have to pay money for a hero, because that would suck.
Mm-hmm. I was saying on Hotscast that I think it should be less cosmetic, and they should make it so different types of mounts have different movement modes. Spiders climb over things but move slower. Horses move a little faster.
Then you have to pay gold for them instead, because you would need them.
Well, you know what I think they would do then, or what I think they should do would be like, every movement type has a gold, one that's gold, and when the others that you pay for. So like they have one spider that's gold. Yeah. So that's what I think they should do. I don't know why I have this in my head, and I really wanted them to do it.
So we're just gonna have to basically make it so that you don't tackle somebody at BlizzCon and get kicked out just because you want them to hear your mount idea.
Yep. Or when we can make custom maps, I do that, and then they're like, "Man, this is the greatest thing ever." I make a custom map that does that.
Make a StarCraft 2 game out of that idea, and then then they can see it in action, and maybe they'll like it.
Sounds good. I kind of have a new prediction that I didn't think of on Wednesday, but I really think everyone that's going to BlizzCon is going to get into Heroes of Storm. I don't know why. They're giving out so many invites right now that I think we're going to see people at BlizzCon getting invited in.
The closed beta?
Into the closed beta, yeah.
Everybody get in the closed beta.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like they did with Warlords at PAX East, but in the closed beta, yeah.
Are they gonna go up on stage and go, "You're in the closed beta and you're in the closed"? No.
They actually hired Oprah to specifically do that.
Your seat.
So now let's kind of turn predictions into what heroes we think we're gonna play. There's got to be some new heroes we're gonna play. What heroes are we gonna see playable at BlizzCon? Josh, I'll start with you this time.
Sylvanas.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I think.
What would you do if Sylvanas isn't available? Would you cry?
I will riot.
You riot.
Yep. I think maybe her and some others as well that they've shown from Jaina and
Kael'thas.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. I couldn't remember his name.
Yep. Ben wants more mages. That's the more mages, the better for Ben, right?
Absolutely. However, I haven't done it yet, but I need to make a shirt that says "Release Cho'Gall." But
Cho'Gall or bust.
I want to see what he does, man, because all we see in the original gameplay trailer that came out was him dying to Nova.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we saw.
And that makes you a sad panda?
It does. Because you at least got to see what Chen's barrel move was in that gameplay trailer, well before he was even, that was a year ago. And yet, all we saw was Cho'Gall die.
Right.
So,
nope. I agree. We need to see Cho'Gall. I've made that my hero for you, Ben. After that, I'll let Josh pick which one I'm going to root for. So, Finless, what hero do you think you're going to see, or at least what hero do you want to see the most?
I want Deckard Cain, but it's not going to happen. So, I don't know. Sylvanas, I think, would be really cool. I'm looking forward to playing her. I think, obviously I don't know what mechanics she's going to have, but given who she is and stuff, I think that it'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. I think it was really.
I want Fimless. I want the Fimless hero.
Fimless
hero. Yeah, I play that hero all the time.
What would his heroic be? The Finless hero.
Oh, I don't know. Talk forever, make everybody go to sleep. Oh wait, that's Deckard Cain. Never mind.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I think I was saying that like Artanis, Protoss out of StarCraft, or even a Phoenix would be pretty cool.
I was saying the other Spectre dude from StarCraft 2, the one we were talking about
Kosh.
just now. He would be cool. Kosh
Yeah.
would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Tosh, sorry.
I can see Ben's look on his face.
I'm
like,
like- yeah,
Ben's
I'm
like,
like,
do I
yeah,
correct
I
him or do I not? He's like, guess on the
Correct me.
show.
Everybody correct me.
Or
If I say it wrong, correct me. I haven't played in so long. I mean, I went through all the things. I'm waiting for the third one.
I just
But,
thought the name
I'm
Kosh
like-
was funny.
Yeah, Kosh. I like Kosh. Kosh, whoever it is.
That's
just me
what I
and Kosh.
thought you said, but I didn't. I was like, did he really say that? And then I just
Well, I
like, maybe
said it and I
should-
thought Tosh, and I'm like, wait, I said Kosh, didn't I? Tosh. So I'm just Kael'thas and Tosh together would make Kosh. How's that?
One thing I wonder about new heroes is looking through the hero lineup now. There's no warrior StarCraft.
Tosh, Spectre
There's a few
Warrior,
different combinations.
Like he would be. Oh,
I don't
what?
know.
His range.
Ranged Warrior. We're waiting on our first Ranged
What
Warriors.
about the
They specifically
Ben-
say, what?
Ben would know his name. What's the Primal Zerg guy's name?
Oh,
Oh, the guy? Yeah.
Yeah, he could be
Oh, I don't remember
a
either.
warrior. He would.
Yeah.
He's,
I knew it. I know this too, man. I'm like,
I know his name if
brain
I hear it.
farting
I just can't remember it right now.
See, but isn't this like one of the biggest problems with like StarCraft heroes? Is I feel like 90% of them are ranged.
They are.
There's very limited melee. If you really think about it,
Like, are you
like you have Zeratul,
named people?
like named people. Like if you want to,
Hmm.
like you have Zeratul, obviously.
Yeah.
But every Terran that's named uses a gun.
Yeah.
Kerrigan,
the
Some-
rednecks. I mean,
yeah. Kerrigan, used to use a gun and now she's melee. But it seems like a little limited, especially if you want to talk warriors too, like big brutish ones.
Amon? Is that what we're talking about?
Amon?
No, Amon is the other guy.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm looking it up right now. Zero Tool tells Carrion, blah, blah, blah. Because I cannot remember his name and it's going to bug the crap out of me. till I remember.
Zervan? The ancient one?
I can't remember. I need to. I haven't played StarCraft in a while.
Dahaka?
Dahaka. I think that's the one.
I
That's
think
the
that's
primal
it.
pack leader.
Yes. I think
He's a
that's what
pack
he's talking
leader. Because there's a bunch. There's Brock, Dahaka, Kraith, Slivan.
about. So, but that'd be like you said, warrior. I mean, it'd be cool because they do specifically say like melee warrior, like they have that as a classification. So I wonder if they'd be able to do some kind of like a ranged warrior. I don't know. It'd be an interesting thing to work out.
Yeah, it's Dahaka.
Dahaka, that's who you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Because his missions were cool. He was melee.
Mhm.
And he's a big brute guy, so why wouldn't he be a warrior?
Yeah, sounds good.
Do it. Make it happen, Adam.
Yeah.
Call Mike Morheim right now.
Why would I call him?
Just because he's the boss.
I'd call Dustin Browder.
You can do that too if
I
you
think
want.
that might
But
be a little more, straight to the source.
deep brother.
Okay. Any other any predictions or anything else that you just dream of that you wish would come with BlizzCon?
what?
I could literally rant for like an hour, but I don't know if it's the wisest thing to do or not.
You don't know if it's the wisest thing. Do you ever do the wisest thing?
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes.
It's like 50-50. And it goes back and forth.
Okay. Well, then with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move into our hero spotlight for this week. Then.
This is the Hero Spotlight.
Okay, so like we do whenever we have some new heroes and we finally get some practice with them, we used to do them every week, but we got through that list pretty quickly. We go over one of the heroes. So this week we're doing the Trader King Anub'arak. Now, I was expecting David to be here this week, so I was going to leave it all up to him to get the lore done. but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it. So I have a quick rundown of who he is. A lot of us, I would say more people know him as kind of the boss in Forgotten Temple. No, the Kingdom of Anub'arak, right?
Azul Narub.
Azul Narub. There we go. Wow, I am having the worst.
You said
time with names.
Akarat, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like, that's not right. That's
Diablo.
That's Diablo.
That's worse than Kosh, man. That's worse than Kosh.
way
that
worse
actually
than-
is on the side of him on this one.
So we saw him there, and we also saw him Trials of the Crusader. That I got that right. He was at the underneath. But he was before his death and before he became part of the legions of the Lich King. He was the former king of Azul Narub. While he was alive. Now what was it? I'm having a hard time remembering. This is why we need David back. David, come back. Maybe I'll have him do a quick rundown. But basically, he got killed and raised by the Lich King in order to fight for him. And that's kind of as far as I'm going to go right now because I'm just going to keep screwing things up, I think.
And then Tychus came along.
Yeah, Tychus came along.
They fought Diablo over there, and wow, now I'm turning into Adam.
But no, and this is why we love David as part of the show. He's able to give you guys a good rundown of the lore of every character. So we're going to go ahead and get right into his abilities. We're going to start off with his trait, which for him is a passive, Scare Post. You spawn a beetle at Anub'arak's location. Wherever he casts a spell, the beetle lasts for 10 seconds and attacks nearby enemies.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I get Impale, huh?
Yes.
His Q, Impale, deals damage and stuns enemies in a line. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has Hardened Carapace. He gains a shield with that. It's just a little shield.
And of course, he's got his, super OG, triple OG move, Burrow Charge. Burrows to location, dealing damage and briefly stunning enemies in a small area upon resurfacing. Can reactivate to surface early.
Mm-hmm. And you have two choices when it comes to his heroic abilities, unlike Abathur, who only has one. Everybody else has two. You have Web Blast, which wraps target enemy hero in a cocoon for 5 seconds. Enemies wrapped in the cocoon are unable to act and are untargetable except by allies who actually can attack the cocoon to break them free early. Then you have Locust Swarm, which deals damage over time in an area around Anub'arak. Each enemy that gets damaged heals Anub'arak. So we're going to do a quick kind of talk about the two heroics. I find that when I play him, I primarily choose Locust Swarm. The reason for this is, yes, Web Blast is a great CC mechanic, but I feel like he already has enough CC as he has Impale and Burrow Charge, which would both stun the enemy. So I find that Locust Swarm really works better because it's damage and survivability kind of all rolled up in one. That being said, if Vala's on the other team, I do sometimes choose to take Web Blast just so that we have an extra CC if she decides to start doing her spinny death attack that I hate so much.
Do you know which one has a lower cooldown of the two? Is
The
it Web Wrap?
Web Blast has the lower cooldown. It's
Web Blast.
45 seconds opposed to the cooldown, I think it's 100 seconds for Locust Swarm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I was thinking Web Blast, if it was too long, a cooldown would be, I don't know how useful it would be as much as the other one.
Mm-hmm. What's cool is that we'll talk about the enhancements in a little bit. But do any of you guys have played Anub'arak a lot? I know I've played a ton of them. So
I played them for a while. I actually just played them before this in a co-op just to get back used to playing them again. And I like them a lot. I think it's great. And I've taken the Locust Swarm every time. I have not yet tried the Web Blast, but I like the Locust Swarm. I don't know. It's hard to tell what it's doing sometimes. Like you do it and you're like, is it working? I don't know what it's doing. So and it could be broken for all I know. I don't know. So sometimes I guess I notice that I get some health back. That's pretty much it.
One thing is I feel like with his two ultimates is it makes it really nice because they're both actually viable.
Yes.
And it's nice to see the fact that you can actually pick and choose. Unlike a lot of the other heroes, I feel like there's a lot of them where it's kind of like a one-way thing. Like, for example, Uther. This is my personal opinion. I think if you take the shield, you're stupid. Just throwing that out there. So I feel like, especially like in team fight scenarios, you need that stun, that AoE stun. So with Anub'arak, it's really amazing to see it come down to, okay, so what is their team doing? How do I need to approach this? And then I can choose, as opposed to playing heroes where at level 1 you're instantly like, okay, well, I know this is what I'm going to choose. So it makes it really interesting. And I mean, it seems to work for you. You know, when we're in team fights together, I'm never really worried about what you're going to do, other than sometimes you burrow into a pack of 5 of them by yourself. But what do you do?
Burrow charge is so much fun. You get so excited. You're like, I'm just going in, guys. It's really the all-consuming Leroy Jenkins move. Like,
I hate when you go to use it.
It's a great
and you think
initiation.
and you think your team is going to follow you in, and they turn around and you get,
That's why you got to communicate.
Taking
You got to talk.
Yeah.
You got to be like, yo, dudes, this is happening. Don't leave me out.
Right.
So
I really like the little shield, even though it's not great, in terms of it doesn't give you a lot of shield. I think that makes him a really, really good warrior. I mean, it really gives him survivability a lot. Like, you can get down to like half health and you don't like going, oh, I'm going to, I got to really go back and I got to get healed. You can just make sure you keep hitting that W every time it comes up, and you could survive a little longer and stay in there.
So,
real quick, we made fun of you on Wednesday for eating an ice cream sandwich. I think we need to make fun of Josh for eating chips.
Yes. I heard him opening them.
That's
too.
right.
I know. I heard the noise, and I'm like, what is that noise?
I'm muting, so everyone can hear my lovely chewing.
So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over a build. I think it's very important to kind of give people kind of a build they can go through and kind of explain why we do the build. Now, the build that I'm gonna kind of pick, because I do play Anub'arak a lot, is it's kind of a good mix between damage and survivability, but there definitely is a lot of survivability in it. And even choices that seem like they're a damage choice actually ends up being a survivability choice within the build. So we'll go ahead and we'll just start at number 1. So the talents that he gets to choose are Regeneration Master, which is one where you collect the globes, get permanent health. Extended Spikes, which you get a longer range on your impale. Persistent Carapace, which increases the shield duration by 2 seconds. And then Assault Scarab, which increases the attack damage of spawn beetles by 25%. I go with Assault Scarab, the increase in damage to the beetles. The primary reason I go with this is because extra damage, and then it actually works really well with the talent we'll talk about later. Persistent Carapace, which you would think is the more survivability focused one, I find doesn't really do much, because the time that your Carapace lasts, people usually tend to bring it down to 0 pretty quick, so that 2 extra seconds doesn't help you all that much.
Agree.
Any other? So yeah, I mean, it's funny. We all. I think this happened last time where Ben would say, and we'd say, yeah, we agree. So
there was the one I do like sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I like the length on the queue.
Mm-hmm.
That's the second one, right?
Yep.
Just because it lets. I mean, sometimes it lets you kind of do that and then go in and have it a little farther, so you can like hit somebody behind their wall or whatever that maybe you couldn't reach when you were you'd be too close and you get hit by the wall. So now you can actually hit people a little farther away. Mm-hmm. I can see where the beetle would be a little more utility, though, in terms of damage and overall.
Mm-hmm. Yep. At level 4, you have Superiority, which is another kind of generic one, where it reduces damage taken from non-heroic enemies by 50%, which I don't think I've ever taken on any hero in the entire game. Locust Needles, where basic attack deal 35% basic damage to the area around the target. Under King, which increases the range and burrow charge by 20% and lowers the cooldown by 2 seconds. And Legion of Beetles, which automatically spawn beetles every 8 seconds, which can be toggled on and off. So you just plop out beetles. You don't have to use abilities in order to do it.
That could be another name of the show, Plop Out Beetles.
I recommend Under King. Burrow charge is what I would consider your primary ability that you want to use to initiate as you're the warrior. And also it's a way of, kind of finishing off enemies so you can actually move quickly and escape. So because there's so much you can do with burrow charge, the extra distance and the lower cooldown help a ton. Locust needles.
As long as you don't forget that you had the extra distance and end up burrowing underneath the tower and being on the other side, and instead of hitting the button again to come back up, that's, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I never do that. Just ask Ben. I have never wound up on the other side of a wall.
No, of course not.
That I've seen.
I definitely have done it. I thought you were going to completely call me out on that. I've done it many times.
I figured I'd give you a little slack.
Oh, wow.
I mean, if you want me to berate you, I will, because I'm more than willing. We all know that.
You can if you want. I thought you. I really thought you.
Wow,
were gonna...
he's accepted.
He set you up.
I set you up
set you up,
for
ready
it.
to
It
go.
threw me
He
off.
was ready for it.
That was the ultimate burn. He set me up for it.
Yeah,
Just let it
exactly.
down.
And you're like, yeah, you did great. Awesome job. What? What are you talking about?
Oh man. But yeah. So I find that just it's both offensive and defensive. It's kind of like I said with this build. It's an offensive and defense because you can get in, and then the cooldown helps, so that way you get it a lot faster if you do have to get out of dodge quicker. So that I really recommend it. The Legion of Beetles I haven't really used much. I did think that was gonna be like I was gonna do a whole beetle build at first, but it didn't really work out. And Locust Needles, if for some reason you have another tank on your team and you have to focus on taking mercenary camps, then that might be a good choice. But with this build, go with Under King.
My vote, don't take any talents.
Don't take out. You're just good enough, right?
Dude, we should try a game where we don't take talents.
That could be a game mode, no talents. We'll call it the
Done.
stacks and packs.
The stacks and packs.
Done.
No.
Done. Ski.
No
Sell
talent.
it. Trademark it.
No.
Do what we gotta do.
So let's see.
You don't get any ulti either.
Right. Hey, you don't get talents, you don't get an ultimate.
No R.
I'm okay with that. That's fine.
So let's move on to level 7 talents. You have Mercenary Lord, which just increases the mercenaries. Bed of Barbs, where you create a bed of spikes along Impale's path that slows enemies' movement speed by 30% and deals damage to them over time. Shed Exoskeleton, using the carapace increases his movement speed by 25%. Excruciating Spines, casting Hardened Carapace will also deal damage to surrounding enemies. And Leeching Scarabs, beetles heal Anub'arak for 50% of their damage with each attack if he is nearby. That is the one to choose.
Bet I know which one you're gonna pick.
Yes. So that's what I was saying before. Is Leeching Scarabs works really well with Assault Scarabs. The two combined give you a ton of health.
Leeching Scarabs.
Yeah, the health regen when you're just popping your abilities as quick as you can is amazing. Like, it's great for taking merc camps if you need to. If you're in the middle of combat, having 3 scarabs out there, possibly 4, giving you health back, it's just, I don't feel like you can top it. And I used to run like I said, the 2-second persistent carapace at level 1, but then I realized if I do 25% more damage, I actually get like 12.5% more life back. So that has increased my survivability a ton.
Yep.
I good at math.
Bravo,
Off top.
sir.
Off top.
Any of you guys ever use any of the other abilities or talents? Sorry.
I'm trying to remember which ones they were. I'm pretty sure I have used the other ones. Like, I think the second one was the increased
The barbs or the movement speed with
movement speed with the W, right? Movement speed.
yeah, with your shield. Yep.
Yes, I've taken that one. I found that was nice in terms of if I initiated and then my team didn't back me up, especially because I'm not playing on a 5-man I could get out quicker. Hit the W. A little bit better retreat in some ways, because a lot of times you do have issues retreating. I mean, the nice thing is you have with the E, but if you've used it to get in and you don't have time to use it to wait till it comes back up to get out, it can help. But I see your combo there, and I think it works pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely tried each one, except for Mercenary Lord, just because I know how it works, and I've never been a Merc guy on him. But the AoE damage from your shield is kind of nice. I used to run a really heavy shield build where you get in and just pop your shield as much as possible, and that was nice. But that health,
you're popping your shield as much as possible anyway, because it pops out beetles.
Right.
When you do your shield.
And now, exactly.
You'll be doing that too. You get beetles and shield.
So Leeching Scarabs, go with that. 10 is your heroic ability. And with this specific build, I think Locust Swarm fits into it because it's, like I said, damage, healing. So if you pop in the middle of combat, you pop that. That's actually another beetle. So that's where you can get your 4 beetles out at a time. So you have 4 beetles healing you, and the Locust Swarm's healing you as well. So it's in a late game scenario, you can. That's what actually allows you to 1v1 a lot of the assassins, because you can almost heal as fast as they can hurt you, mixed with getting a shield up every now and then. Level 13. So level 13, you have your Burning Rage, which is 10 damage per second to nearby enemies. Spell Shield, which upon taking ability damage, reduce all ability damage taken by 50% for 2 seconds. Chitinous Plating, which increases hardened carapace shield amount by 50%. And Symbiotic Armor, where your beetles also are granted the shield, but equal to 120, so a lower amount. I take Chitinous Plating, the increased shield, because by the time you get up to this level 13, they're starting to eat through your shield so quickly that you just need a bigger shield. I really feel strong about that in order for survivability. This is really a survivability time, and I found it to be better than the Spell Shield, because it works against not just ability damage, but direct attack damage as well.
That's what I take. I take also.
Yeah, I did try the Burning Rage with the I can never say that right, but the spines where you deal damage when you shield. So you're just doing a lot of AoE damage, and late game AoE damage I don't think really helps out as much as this more survivability.
Dude, well, if you're going for a warrior tank build, then that's really where you have to go.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yep. And then number 16, you have Epicenter, which impact area and damage by your burrow charge is increased by 100%. Beetlejuiced. No.
I like it. Careful.
If your beetles kill an enemy and its duration is refreshed and become fully healed and gain 100% bonus health and damage. Blood for blood. Activation to steal 15% of target enemy's max health, and if their movement speed is brought down. And rewind, which reduces your cooldown of your basic abilities by 10 seconds. This is the level that I would say you really can choose any of them. All of them work out really well. It really depends on how the match is going. Epicenter, if you want to just be able to deal more damage on the initial kick into combat. Beetlejuice, if you're taking down enemies regularly, because the 100% bonus to their damage increases now your health regeneration from them doing damage. Blood for blood gives you a nice solid 15% life right away and stops people from running away. So they all really work well. And rewind actually lets you get more scarabs out, because you can take 10 seconds off all your cooldowns and then use all your cooldowns again. I would say the one that I use the most is Epicenter, just so you have the stronger stun ability because of the increased impact area of your burrow charge. That's the one I use the most. But sometimes I'll use blood for blood or the other ones for just I've tried them and they do work out well.
Dude, I'm so happy. You're so excited about this hero over Chen.
Yeah. No, I've had some real good luck with them throughout playing with them, and it's more of a problems I have is that I need to throttle back with them. Yeah,
you get really hyper.
Yeah, you get excited because you can go in and survive a lot, but you do need the support of your team, and that's just comes with practice. For sure.
It's very true.
Mm-hmm.
You mean like you can't run in with Zagara and just tank everything with like Rill? You
Right.
can't do that? You know?
Nope, you can't do that at all. It doesn't work. And finally, level 20, you have Resurgence of the Storm, Fury of the Storm, where basic attacks deal extra damage. Hive Master would be your choice in this build, as it creates a permanent vampire locust that attacks nearby enemies every 3 seconds, that deals damage and heals you. If you're dying a lot, take Resurgence. Because you can use it. If you're not dying a lot, take Hive Master, and you have this cool little locust, vampiric locust thing that's giving you more health and dealing more damage. So obviously it builds right into what I've been saying this whole time is, you're getting life back, and this is permanent, and he just keeps attacking. At level 20, it's very hard to kill you if you take that, so that's why I take it over Resurgence. Like I said, unless they're way ahead of you, then you need to get back to the game quicker. But that would be my choice of a build for him, because you can be more aggressive with it, and you're dealing enough damage that you're able to take one-on-one most other heroes. I think Chen you can't because of his huge shield, and a few others here and there. So that's the build I really like playing with Anub'arak.
I feel like it's pretty spot on.
Mm-hmm. Well thought out. I feel like I thought it out.
I don't know how much thought you put into it.
Man, I've been tweaking it because we were talking about this not too long ago. Is how do you do it? I actually have yet to look up somebody else's build, but now I feel like I finally tweaked it to the point where I think it's a strong build, and I want to go check out what other people are saying.
Yes,
well,
I do know.
The only thing I can recommend is I guess you should go check out what other people are saying.
Any final thoughts on Anub'arak from you guys? Skins or anything? I think his Cyberrock skin, I like it, but it needs a little more work. But any other skins that you guys might want to see out there?
I'd like to see. This one's gonna be. Okay, so did everybody here see the second Transformers movie?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so when they first showed, no wait, was it? No.
Who are you talking about? I can tell you.
Megatron, when he had the shroud over his head and he was all it was the third one.
That's their one.
Okay, third one. So I would like to see Anub'arak kind of with a shroud over his body, kind of covering him a lot, and then as he goes to fly, the shroud kicks up, and he's kind of deformed in areas, he's, I don't know, maybe been suffering from a plague or something like that, but it's a little bit more graphic intensive.
But infested Anub'arak.
Maybe.
Sort of. It's combining the different games, but that's what they do here.
I know what you're saying, though, Ben. I agree.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you know
cool.
what I'm saying?
Like a hover... Almost sounds almost like a hovercraft thing, because it's a thing like a shrouded hovercraft, because that's what he is on the mecha one too.
Sounds good. Well, I think that's gonna actually do it for our show. I just kind of took a look at the time, and we've definitely been talking about heroes for a good amount of time. So let's go ahead and Fim, you get to go first. Where can people get a hold of you? Where can people find you at BlizzCon? All the great stuff.
All over the place. Well, on Twitter, you can find me at Fimless, Fimlys. You can listen to me on Hotscast, which is hotscast.com. We record Wednesdays, and that's another Heroes podcast. Also, my quote-unquote main podcast, which is Twisted Nether Blogcast. You can go find that at twistednether.net. And BlizzCon, I will be all over the place, but the best places, if you want to know where I definitely will be, is I will be at World of Podcasts on Thursday night. I will be in the most awesome panel that night, of course, which is the podcasting panel with somebody here in this. Who's above me, I think, in the room there. Look up at you. Hey, and that'll be awesome. So I'll be there, and then on Friday night will be the Twisted Nether / Hotscast party over at the Bullmore at the Anaheim Garden Walk. And if you go to twistednether.net, you can get to the information on that party there. We have a lot of cool stuff planned, and it'll be fun.
And Josh, where can people get a hold of you?
You can find me here every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.com/Heroes of the Nexus.
It's twitch.tv.
Twitch.tv, sorry. And then you can also find me on Twitter at Pack1_AIE. It's spelled PAKKUAN_AIE.
And Ben, what about you?
As always, you can find the legend, the Stacks, on Twitter at Stacks and Packs, STAKSNPAKS. And you'll also be able to find me at BlizzCon at the World of Podcasts. I will be on the predictions panel. And we'll be talking about cool nonsense that we think is going to happen and taking bets, hopefully.
Second best panel.
I don't know about that. You guys just talk about like yourselves. We're going to be talking about cool stuff that might happen could very happen at BlizzCon.
Are you saying he's not cool?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he's second cool. You know?
Okay.
So, but yeah, just on Twitter, hit me up for whatever, and I'll be at BlizzCon trying to get as much information for the show, and tweeting from BlizzCon and doing whatever I can from BlizzCon, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, for sure. And you can find me at Geek of Random on Twitter, or you can follow the show directly at the Nexus Podcast. If you have any questions for the show, we'd love to answer them. It's show@heroesofthenexus.com. Please leave any 5-star reviews over at iTunes. We'll gladly read them out. If you don't, like Josh said, if you don't, come to the live show, please come. It's fun. We have a chat room and everything. Every Friday night, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, twitch.tv/Heroes of the Nexus. We're proud members of Catalyst Gaming Media, who's putting on World of Podcasts, which takes place the Thursday before BlizzCon, November 6th at 6:30 p.m. at the Hilton in Anaheim, where you can find me primarily in the Fireside Gathering Room, where we will have prizes to give out. It'll be an exciting time. You can potentially win these prizes as well. And then you can find me at 9:30 in the panel room with Fimless talking about podcasting, which oddly enough is something I know a little bit about. You might not think about.
Crazy.
It's
I would
weird.
never have guessed.
Yeah.
That just surprised me just there. That's crazy.
So go ahead and check it out. And like I said, Catalyst Gaming Media is catalystgamingmedia.com. We can find bloggers, other podcasters, and content creators like us. So thank you all for coming. We will see you all inside the Nexus. Have yourselves a great weekend. Goodbye, everyone.
Good evening,
night,
minions.
Minions.
Okay, and
Yes.
stop the recording. And I just have to take this stream down pretty quickly tonight, guys. Thank you all for coming in the chat room. We do appreciate you guys coming every week.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, we had Fimless.
Thanks for coming.
Yes.
No problem.
We will
Glad I
see
could
you.
be here.
We'll see you guys around.
By the way, I forgot to turn my fan off for this the podcast.